What is going on, guys? Welcome to the CBW YouTube channel. I'm your host, John Algendi, and today we're going to be talking about the Olympia Amateur Brazil, and we're going to be talking about the Hurricane Pro. So how this show is going to go is I'm going to do the show with a couple formats, which I'm hoping to do as I go along with this. So what one format is we're going to preview and recap shows sometimes on this channel. Another one that sometimes I'll do is do a Q&A where you guys give me the questions and I give you the realistic answers, hence Q&A. And other times that I'll have this channel up, we're gonna also do interviews with some of the pros. I want to try to get to know them, trying to see where they're coming from, how they got into this industry, where they are in life, and hopefully what they hope to accomplish going forward. If even the amateurs, if they want to get on here and they're available, let me know. I will actually ask you guys before in advance before I decide to get you guys on here. So with that being said, we have two pro shows this weekend. Yes, the Olympia just happened, and yes, I will recap the Olympia. I am still waiting on feedback from a couple of pros and seeing where they landed from the first top 15. So right now, we're gonna pretty much preview the Brazil show. I'm gonna go over some of the athletes and some who I think could be the front runner and can win this show and can qualify. So right here, I'm gonna share my screen. So we got a decent list right here. We have about 20 pros. We have Vanya, I recognize her. Rihanna's here. Alice, Priscilla, Jessica Wilson. This one I'm going to talk about. She has four names: Maria Alexandra Rocha Santos. She is an Olympian. Unfortunately, she couldn't get to the U.S. because she had visa issues, and that was in 2023. So she did qualify in a pro show, but she just could not get here. Mariana, I believe she was second to Evie Escandar in Colombia. And Lorena, I know she's one of Ashley's clients. And Miriam, I think she's done some shows. It's just sometimes she comes in too hard. All right, that's for Bikini. All right. And Wellness, here we go. We have Sunny, Deborah, Julia, aka Juka, Hyalis, Andrea Gadella, Cass, Giselle's here, Marcela Matos is here, Natasha's here. So I'm going to go over the names who I believe and who I recognize and I think that can place. So right here, all right. Let me change things up. Okay, so in first, for the Brazil Pro, I'm going to go with Vanya. I'm going Alice in second. I'm going Rihanna in third. I'm going to go Jessica Wilson in fourth. And I'm going to pick two more. And I just wanted to kind of share this one athlete. Her name is Maria Alexandra. Let's see where I can find her. And her physique is insane. I mean, if you see this girl, you're going to be like, wow, that was some crazy genetics. I mean, any sport, any division, anything that you see, genetics are always going to play a role. So here, I mean, she's a tall one because she has long legs, but her ratios are insane. I do maybe a little shoulder from this, but this was from last year in August, where this was her pro debut, which she won. I did speak with her in Portuguese and told her that her hair being as with all that volume, it's got to be centered so that we can see your rear delts. And especially when you're getting in front of Sandy, and especially when you're getting in front of other Olympians, you have to look like your best. But I mean, the proportions, the tie-ins on this girl, the everything. I mean, she's very beautiful if just to look at, and she's young. She did wear pink in her pro qualifier, but she can do that. But I just feel like this teal is like, it makes her stand out with how dark her skin is and how dark her hair is. But I did see her posing, and I just think she just needs to be more comfortable on stage and, obviously have more experience. But if I do place her in this lineup, depending on how she looks, I think I can see her in that top 5, top 6. But I think we just have to see how it looks with other girls, especially when you're going against a great poser like Vanya August and an amazing physique like Alice has. Right. Another one I wanted to bring up is her name is Mariana. See, when I looked at her, I think so much of like Zoe Panzarino. Like she has like that physique almost like Zoe with like a long torso, longer legs and short glute insertions. She has high lats, so it kind of when she poses in her back, I'll just let this play. Okay, one thing I think she could just use a little more glam. Just kind of make her stand out. But yeah, she has good shape. See what I mean? Like she's almost like Zoe because she's retracting her shoulders back. It looks like she's kind of pinching her back, and it may look like that, but maybe she's not. She just needs to relax her arms, and maybe that can see that being fixed and corrected. But in being in front of Sandy, you have to do things differently, and I think just a little more glute depth to her. But she's a very pretty girl. Okay, right, and that's that. So I'm gonna go Maria in fifth. And then I'm going to put Marion in sixth. The only reason I don't have Pre Rodriguez in the top 5 placings, even though she does well in shows outside the US, is because from the Olympia, she just, from the front, hold on, let me show you. From the front, like, I feel like she's good in the front, even though she has a, like, wide waist. But the front, she's good in her front, but just when she turns around to the back, it doesn't look the same as the front. It's kind of like very soft and not up to par with her front pose. So I'm gonna show you Priscilla. I think her name's Pre. No, she's very pretty, very gorgeous girl. But all I've said is that yeah, she has to match her front to her back pose. I mean, when she's like as tight as she can, like she was in Japan, she actually can do very well. But we saw in the previous shows, we didn't quite see that. It was in the Southern Muscle show and then the Olympia. And that could just be like nerves and not getting used to it. I think what I saw from Bikini and Wellness was the people that this was their first time and maybe not much experience. They've never really been on a big stage like this, so that may have affected her. But in this lineup with Sandy, you really have to be on point, and it's like either you do well or you don't. So that's that for the Muscle Contest Brazil. We're gonna get moving on to. Actually, no, wait. I wanted to cover wellness. So my front runner to win is going to be Giselle Machado. I would say Giselle in first, Cass in second, and then I'm going to go over 3 other girls. Okay, so here's wellness. I'm going to go Giselle. I'm going to go Cass, Juka, Andrea. Andrea is a previous Olympian. Marcella, who just did the Olympia. And then Natasha, who just did the Olympia as well. The only reason I have Natasha six is like I think her size wise, she's just kind of a little behind versus Marcella. I don't know how it's going to play out, but if the only issue with Marcella is that her legs are smaller than her glutes, and this, she just needs to bring that up. Andrea, she's got great genetics. It just has to like, you know, put some effort into it. She doesn't really. I think she's good. She's genetically gifted. It's just the fact that I don't think that she really puts some effort into it. She doesn't really finesse, with makeup, with her shoes. I'm gonna show you something. I mean, very pretty girl, very adorable to look at. Like good genetics for this physique is wellness. She was third in this Arnold Brazil to Hayani and Valkyra. She had like this little bracelet that was dangling, which was very distracting. It took away like the attention of her physique. But if she just fixes some certain things, I definitely think she could be in those top spots. But I think I'd have her fourth or third here. Hmm. Nope. Fix this. Okay. I think this is at finals. Because I'm prejudging that. Wait. Her physique is incredible. But it's just how she does certain things and how her shoes. I would definitely get some shoe fairies. Please get some shoe fairies. That's so bad. But my goodness, this girl has like great genetics for wellness. It's almost like our top girls. I like the fact that she's always smiling. Your eyes are going to be drawn to her. But yeah, see how that. She's just lose that jewelry. All right. Then I'm going to go over Juka. She got second in this show, and I told her, like, you have potential, but I just feel like, she needs to get more experience. And obviously, if she had done a show and peaked right and she came to US, she probably would have won one of the Texas or Florida shows. And I definitely think she would have qualified. But the matter is, can she get here? Can she get a visa and get to the States? That's another thing. But let me see here. She got second to, I think, Danny Mendonça. She's young. Another thing is, so she's really not even hit her maturity yet. The only thing is be careful of how hard her quads can get. Because while it may be awarded in Brazil, it may not be awarded in the States. But I'd say she has a similar like physique, almost to like a Cass Gillis. I think if she fixed her presentation to be more polished, it would be much more better. But yeah, the physique's phenomenal. Just has to also be careful of her waistline. Just has to get more comfort. All right. So go back to this. All right. Then we're gonna go with the Hurricane Pro. I mean, this list is really small. This show used to have like 20, 30 girls, but it's kind of been the theme this year. I just think people were registering late. That's kind of why I felt like not many people were doing the show. So Hurricane Pro, get this list out. So if I was to say who would be the top girls in this, I'd say Evie, Adair, Brittany, and Zinyi. But I'm gonna just go kind of just pick 10 right now who I think can place. Right. But I do believe Evie Eskandar is the girl to win because she has won two shows in the US. She's won Legion, she's won Atlanta. I think she has a good advantage because of her experience. Because I think of all of them, she has the most experience and has the most wins. So I would put her as the girl to win it. And I believe that James is gonna definitely bring her at her best with a look that is rewarding for the win to qualify for the next year's Olympia. And she did tell me when I was talking with her at Saturday Night Finals briefly that she hoped to do more shows in the U.S. I told her that she was just outside of in that second call out, but I feel like now in her career she needs to do more in the U.S. versus winning in all of Europe. I think any show that Evie Eskandar is in all of Europe, she is the girl to win. But you see, because I can just see like what's going on. I think sometimes it's just how her vascularity is. Yeah, sometimes a little vascular. She just needs to be a little more tighter. I mean, another thing is this season had so many red suits. And the colors I'm used to seeing on Eevee is either red or blue, but I just this pink is just not doing it for me. I mean, I do like this; it's a berry color. It just I don't think pinks is her color. I think she should just do blue or red. So if I was her, and with this season full of reds, I would do the blue suit that she used to wear. The cut's fine and all that. The suit's fine. It just was not like when I saw her wear pink, I was like, it was hard to recognize her. Here it is. You can see it very clearly. It looks red with the lighting, but when you're there in person, it was like this bright pink under the lights. But if she changes her suit, comes in a little more tighter than she was at the Olympia, because she was just right outside that 15th spot, I definitely think she's going to be our winner to win it. So I'm going to pick my top 10 right here. I'm going to go Evie. I'm going to go Zinyi, Brittany, Adair, Karine. I'm going to go Gina, Wubai. I'm going to go Rukia, Katerina, and I'm going to go Holly. I feel like these girls are more in line with the criteria from the Olympia. Because if I'm looking at them, I'm thinking, okay, based off their show and based off what I saw from their previous showing, who's more in line with what gets awarded at that show, who gets awarded on the highest level, who is more in line with the criteria. The thing with Wu Bai is I feel like just how she poses in the front could hurt her. She has a crazy back shot. Those glute insertions are insane. But I just feel like she just has to work on certain things in order to move up in the spots and be obviously a strong contender. But she's a beautiful girl, very like dedicated to work to how she trains and how she does things. But it's just how you look in the lineup, and with tough competition, it's hard to really stand out. And also, I would change the heels. I just think I don't know, it's just kind of like her hands like in the center of her stomach. I just think she just needs to be a little more outside, and it would be so much better. Um, but I think from first through fourth, they can flip flop between second, third, fourth, and fifth. But if Evie's a little off, I do think somebody is going to overtake her and take and obviously get the win for here. And I think we'll just have to see how that plays out. But I definitely think this is going to be pretty competitive with the top five girls that I believe can place. Maybe even someone from sixth to tenth could get into those spots. But we'll guys have to see. Just going to be all dependent on the lineup. And I look forward to seeing what that happens. All right. That is all. I just wanted to thank you guys for watching. And if you like this, please comment below, subscribe. Tell me who you guys think is going to win. Who you guys think is the front runner to win in the Hurricane and the Brazil Pro? What is something that maybe I don't see? Maybe something that you guys want to put your input? Just let me know. All right. I appreciate everything.